everyone, welcome to my online geography class KSK Geography. Here we are for a quick recap of the chapters, that is natural vegetation. It's very important as well as very easy chapters, but make sure you need to use the proper geographical term to answer those questions, right? So first of all, let's start with the natural vegetation. You need to know about the syllabus. So what are those syllabus divided into? This chapter syllabus divided into three parts. First of all, the importance of natural vegetation. Here you can see the importance of natural vegetation. That's very easy to answer. You know most of the answer, but as I said, you need to use the proper geographical terms to answer those questions so you can get good score. Next, maximum weightage given from this chapter, that is this part, the types of natural vegetation. The types of natural vegetation, maximum weightage given on this part. There 6 divisions are there total. Actually it's 5, but tropical deciduous forest further divided into 2. So about 6 division you need to study in detail. Maximum question it will be given from this part. So that is very important. But don't worry, I'll give you the simple tricks how to remember all those data together so you can get good read from this chapter. Next, the forest conservation. As you know, number of forest is declining day by day. Amount of forest is declining day by day. But forest is so important that we will study in the first. Importance of forest, that we all know. Now, if the forest is declining, that it will be dangerous for us. So, government also taken some strategy, some policy to improve the forest quality or improve the amount of forest. So, that we will discuss in this part. Now, come to the main part from this part. That is, first of all, you need to know about the definition of natural vegetation. Definition of natural vegetation. Here you can see two important terms are there, natural and vegetation. So first you need to know natural. Now what do you mean by natural? Natural means without any human interference. I repeat, without any human interference. So trees or plants it will grow without any human interference. So depending on what? Depending on two factors. Depending on two factors. The physiographic factors and the climatic factors. So physiography and climate in different area we can see different type of physiographic and the climatic condition. Depending on that, we will see different type of natural vegetation. They will get different type of natural vegetation. Next, here you can see, as I said, the climate and physiographic. What are the part of climate? Climate, here you can see the temperature and humidity. Temperature, different area, different amount of solar energy is there. So different type of temperatural condition it will be there. That it will control the natural vegetation of an area. Where the sunlight it will be more. Trees it will get more scope to grow because photosynthesis process, sunlight is very important, right? Temperature, humidity means moisture available in that atmosphere. So that part also control the natural vegetation of that area. Next, climatic condition, another photoperiod. Photoperiod means how much time in a day the particular area's natural vegetation is getting solar energy. What is the duration of daytime? Daytime means sunrise to sunset. That is called the photoperiod. And next, the precipitation. Very, very important part. Here you can see the precipitation. Precipitation means the amount of rainfall occurring in that particular place. That also control the natural vegetation of that area. Yeah, according to the temperature and precipitation, you will see there will be several adaptations. It will be taken place by the natural vegetation. Now let's come to the next part, that is the relief features. Relief or physiography, both are same. So here you can see that land, which type of land it is there, mountain, plateau, plain, all those things. And then the soil, different type of soil, as you know, it helps to grow different type of crops. Similarly, different type of soil helps to grow different types of trees. So, and another factor is their altitude. If you will go in the mountain area, what you will see? You will see different type of natural vegetation. So it will be there. Different type of natural vegetation you will see. You know, look wise it will looks different. So those are the altitudinal factors. Now coming to the next. Next is what? The types of vegetation. As I said, this is the very important part. Type of vegetation in India. We are getting mainly 5 type of vegetation. Tropical evergreen vegetation. Next, tropical deciduous. Tropical deciduous, as I said, is divided into 2 types. Tropical deciduous is divided into 2 types. Which are those 2? That is the moist deciduous and dry deciduous. We'll discuss all those things in details in next slide. Next, tropical thorn forest or scrubs. And number 4, that mountain forest. And number 6, that is a mangrove forest. That we will discuss about all those vegetation one by one in the next slide. Here you can see the map of India. This is the general distribution distribution of natural vegetation in India. So you have studied the climate chapter, so you can connect those climate chapters very easily. So where the rainfall is maximum, these are the place where the rainfall is maximum in western part of Western Ghats as well as northeastern state. So here you will see the tropical evergreen forest where the rainfall is there more than 200 centimeters, and where the rainfall is less in the western part of India, that is the Rajasthan, Gujarat, that is the third desert area. So here you can see there will be the desert vegetation. Except that maximum part of India, central part of India, you will see the tropical deciduous forest where the rainfall it will be there in between 70 to 200 centimeters, right? And in the mountain area we will see the mountain vegetation, means the Himalayan part, right? And the delta areas, river delta areas, you will see the mangrove vegetation. We'll discuss all those things details in the next slide, as I said. So let's start with the tropical evergreen forest. What are the adaptation they are doing? So tropical evergreen forest, remember two important factors here. The temperature it will be maximum very high, and the amount of rainfall it will be very high. What the amount of rainfall it will be there more than 200 centimeters. Mark it, more than 200 centimeters. Temperature is also high. So what it will happen? It will help to do more photosynthesis. So the trees it will grow very faster. It will be hardwood trees. It will be tall. The trees it will be very tall, and it will be not so wide. It will be tall, and trees branches at the top layer of the trees, you will see the branches it will join with each other, and it will make the canopy. Canopy means it will not allow the sunlight to reach to the ground surface, so it will block the sun rays, right? That is called canopy. Very important term, please remember. So adaptation, what are the adaptation? The trees it will be very hard, solid, it will be difficult to cut, and it will be very dense vegetation. Why? Because rainfall is more as well as temperature is also more. So that's why the trees it will grow very faster. What are the adaptation? The leaves of the trees it will be broad, wide. Leaves of the trees it will be broad, wide, and it is also called evergreen vegetation. Why evergreen? Because trees it will never shed their leaves all together. It will shed their leaves partially throughout the year, but not all together. So trees it will looks green throughout the year. That's why it is called the evergreen vegetation, or it also called tropical rainforest. Next you will see the tropical deciduous forest. As I said, tropical deciduous forest further divided into two. What are those? Those are the moist deciduous and dry deciduous. What is the criteria to divide those vegetation? This one criteria, that is the amount of rainfall. Where the rainfall it will be there in between 100 centimeters to 200 centimeters. 100 centimeters to 200 centimeters rainfall it will be more. So there you will see, we will call it moist deciduous. And where the rainfall it will be there in between 70 to 100 centimeters, there you will see, we will call it as a dry deciduous, right? So deciduous forest, what are the important features? Here these trees it will be affected by the monsoon. So in the dry season the trees it will shed their leaves all together. The trees it will shed their leaves all together in the dry season. Why? To prevent it from the transpiration. Water transpiration it will be less. So that will be the features. So mainly these things you need to remember. One more very important part from this part, that is these vegetations economically more beneficial for us. Why? Here these trees you will get it in the pure stand. Pure stand means same type of trees it will grow together in the same area, and the trees it will be not so hard. So you can obtain it very easily. And those trees you can see maximum part of India will see this type of vegetation. So it helps us economically also. It can be used for making furniture and the construction purpose also. Next we will discuss about the tropical thorn forest, where the rainfall is less than 70 centimeters. Less than 70 centimeters. In India we are getting less than 70 centimeters rainfall. That is in the western part of India, where the Aravalli mountain is there in this part. So southwestern monsoon, when it will enter, it will be not blocked by the Aravalli mountain. So this area basically there is no rain, or if it will be rain then also it will be less than 70 centimeters per year. So Gujarat, Rajasthan, those are the area where we are getting tropical thorn forest. Here as the rainfall is less and the temperature is more, so trees also made several adaptation changes to develop. What are the changes? First of all, the trees roots it will be very long. Why? Because the groundwater level is very low. To obtain the water from this part, the trees roots it will be very long. As well as you can see it here, the trees leaves it will convert to the thorns. Trees leaves it will convert to the thorns. Why? To prevent the transpiration. To prevent the water transpiration, it will convert to the thorns. And here you will not see such big trees. Here you will get the small scrubs, short height, very scanty growth trees or plants you will see. You will not see much more trees. One example like the cactus. But remember, cactus, it will be not considered as a tree. It is a vegetation. Trees you will consider, that is the bubble, it will be considered as a tree. Acacia bubble, those it will be considered as a tree. So next, here you can see mountain vegetation. Mountain vegetation is very interesting. How much you have studied, that you need to apply it here. Remember, in very short, if in the foothills of mountains, you will get the tropical evergreen vegetation. If you will go a little bit high, there you will get the tropical deciduous vegetation. And if you will go more high, in between 1,500 to 3,000 meters, in that height, we will get the coniferous trees. Now, what is coniferous trees? It looks like that, like the Christmas trees. Yes, Christmas trees. It will be like the cone shape, and one more adaptation. The leaves here, it will convert to the needle shape. So it can avoid the snowfall easily, because it is found in the high altitude. So where the snowfall, it will be there. So it can protect themselves from the snowfall. Next, after that, coniferous forest, you will get the alpine grasslands, and after that, few more meters height, you will get the moss and leeches, and the top of the mountain, there will be no vegetation at all. There will be snow capped. There will be no vegetation at all. Coniferous forest is very important. It's mainly used for packing, because those trees, woods, it will be soft, and it is mainly used for packing, right? Packing box, matchbox, matchstick, it is used for those purpose, right? So next, mangrove vegetation. It is also called swampy vegetation, or it also called littoral vegetation. Mainly it is found in such areas where there will be tidal effect, or the brackish water, it will be there. So mainly here you can see Sundarban Delta, Mahanadi River Delta, and Krishna Godavari River Delta, as well as Kaveri River Delta. Those are the area where we are getting those mangrove forest much more. Here also, these trees also, it will make several changes. Here you can see the trees, there will be supporting roots as well as the breathing roots, it will come up, right? It gives support to the trees to stay in the particular area, because those areas, there will be mud, water, it will be there will be tidal effect. To survive in that condition, those roots, it will develop, right? So those are the mangrove vegetation. Now next, those very important tricks, how we have to remember all those data together. You need to remember the simple chart, right? The tables, make it by yourself. The table, right? I am giving the heading. Under those heading, collect the information from your textbook and fill the table. Intentionally, I have not given you the data. Why? Because if you will make the table by yourself, it will not take more than half an hour. But once you will make it by yourself, you can remember those data forever. So you can answer those questions very easily. So what are those heading? Required temperature. Here you can see different types of vegetation. And here you can see required temperature. How much temperature is required? Required rainfall. How much amount of rainfall is required? Here you can see the tropical evergreen. Just I am making one for you. Tropical evergreen. Here rainfall, it will be required 200 centimeters plus. That much rainfall, it will be required. Characteristics. What are the characteristics? Evergreen, broadleaf, tall trees, canopy. Those are the characteristics. Those points you need to note it down. Area of distribution and state-wise distribution. It looks same, right? But ICSE is very particular about that. You need to answer those questions. If the state name, it will be asked, you need to answer with the state's name. And if the area, it will be asked, you need to answer along with that area, like northern plains, Himalayan mountain, right, western part of India. In that way you need to answer, right? And the main trees, what are the main trees of each type of vegetation, that you need to know. And next, that is the main uses. What are the main uses of the trees? It's like tropical evergreen forest. Main uses economically, it will be not so useful, but it can be used for construction purpose. Why? Because this is very hard, solid, tall. Tropical deciduous forest, it can be used for many more purposes. Different trees are there, especially the sandalwoods, right? It can be used for making perfume, right? And it can be used for construction purpose also, for making furniture also. Next, important is the tropical thorn forest. There will be not so much use for tropical thorn forest, but here the mountain vegetation, the coniferous forest, is mostly useful for making, as I said, matchbox, matchstick, and the packing work, right? For packing box, it is very much useful. Next one, mangrove vegetation. Mangrove vegetation examples are there, Sundari, Gar and Geo. Those are the mangrove vegetation. It's mainly used for making boat. It's mainly used for making boat. So those are the information you need to get all together, that you can make it within half an hour, and that it will help you to get good marks in your board exam, right? So next, here you can see overall benefit that you all know, right? I am not going to discuss all those things in details. Overall benefit. So here you need to divide into two parts. One, that is the environmental benefit, like trees give us, or natural vegetation give us the oxygen, right? And it also help to bind the soil. It also protect us from the soil erosion. Those are the two environmental benefits. Next, other than that, we are getting so many forest products. It can be used for medicinal purpose. We are getting the minor products like the honey, fruits, gum, lac, all those things we are getting. Honey, food, gum, lac, all those things we are getting. That is also very important. For timber we are getting for making furniture. Next, it can be useful for making medicine. It's giving shelter to the different type of wildlife or animals, right? And it also provide food to the animals as well as to us also. It provides us different food product. Next, here you can say the forest policy. As I said, amount of forest is declining day by day. Amount of forest is declining day by day. So government has taken some forest policy in 1988. That forest policy is very, very important. What they decided, improve the tree cover. That's very common. To improve the tree cover, checking the soil erosion, because it's control the soil erosion also. So checking the soil erosion in catchment area and the river, lakes and reservoir, and increasing the forest productivity. How the forest product, it can be more useful for us to increase that one, to encourage that forestry activity, mainly involving people in greening India. So government realized one thing, for government only is not possible to look after all those things. Government will involve the local people to improve the natural vegetation, right? So for that purpose, what is required, government will bring some awareness, different awareness program, right? You as a student, you also went so many times for plantation program, tree plantation program, right? So those are the awareness program government has done. Now stating the network of protected area. Now government will involve more forest guard or more employee in that part, so the forest area, it will be protected, right? Forest area, it will be protected. Next, here you can see that concept is called the social forestry. That concept is called the social forestry. Now social forestry means what? They will involve the local people to increase the natural vegetation. So the social forestry, here you can see those are the objective of social forestry, right? Increasing the forest area, restoring the ecological balance. Next, melting the basic rural needs. Like for rural areas, people are depending on much more on the firewood. So people will grow such type of natural vegetation from where they can get the firewood very easily. Ensure the better land use, checking soil erosion, animal husbandry, those things, and generation of employment. Many more people will be involved in that with the forest activity. So one way, the natural vegetation level, it will be maintained, and people also get the job opportunity. And checking the pollution, it will help in that way to control the pollution level. Now let's come to the social forestry. You can see the division. Rural forestry. Rural forestry means in the rural area, that plantation, it will be done with the help of local people. Urban forestry, in urban areas, you can see along with the roads, right? Along with the roads, along with the river, along with the lakes, the forestry, it will be done. Or in the empty lands, like in the school, colleges, or the office buildings, surrounding the office building, there you can plant more trees. That is urban forestry. Farm forestry, here in place of agricultural land where they are doing the crop cultivation, they will do the tree cultivation. That is called the farm forestry. From there, farmers will get the benefits. Community forestry and agroforestry. Agroforestry, it is very important. Here, along with the agricultural activity, the farmers, what they will do in their land, in the corner of the land or in the sides of the land, they will put more trees. So from there, they will get the benefit, as well as it will help to control the soil erosion, right? So those are the objectives of social forestry. Next, the benefits of social forestry. What are the objectives? If we will be able to achieve those things, that it will be the benefit of social forestry. So people will get the job opportunities more, and environment, it will be protected. Those are the basic things you need to remember from there. So as a whole, the country, it will grow economically as well as environmentally. Those are the basic things you have learned from this chapter in the short span of time, right? And in that way, similarly, I'll come with chapter wise the recap classes. For that, you need to subscribe the channel so that it will help you to get good marks in your board exam. Thank you very much.